All right, one more test. Two things today. First of all, this school shooting, I think I've figured it out. Okay, first of all, the list of countries by incarceration. Um, there's United States. The notes below say that this doesn't count. Let's see if it's streaming. Doesn't count child incarceration. There's something like 60,000 kids in jail too. So Seychelles, well, they're a small country, and they sometimes capture Somali pirates. So that's not good. Let's see who we're up there with: Turkmenistan, oh, Virgin Islands and Guam. Oh, Cuba. Cuba's having a little bit of trouble. What we need in this country to have less criminals is we need more Nicaraguans, I guess, and uh, more people from Swaziland. Paraguay, Argentina. We need more immigrants from these people to dilute our high number of criminals in the United States. So let's look by state. Well, this is shocking. So purple here, these are the high rates, and up here is the low incarceration rates per capita. Many of these states, like Maine, have these international numbers. Minnesota, Montana and those places, those are all still double. But let's face it, we got a problem down here in the South. I mean, we have open borders with these guys. Look at Texas. This is a dangerous place to be. Why live there? It's so dangerous. I mean, maybe we should have a wall around these. We have open borders with these criminals. It's astounding. I mean, it's a dangerous place to live, the United States. We obviously need more foreigners who, are not as big of criminals as us. Because obviously we don't have a police state. I mean, if anything, we let people get away with all kinds of shit in this country, and yet we still have 3 times ordinary incarceration rates in a civilized nation. It's not dealing with rampant piracy. This is a problem. Let's see what the rate is in Mexico. Can I search for that? Mexico? 204 instead of, so a third. So, I mean, if we just let a bunch of Mexicans into Texas, if we just like double the population of Texas with Mexican immigrants, we'll basically half the incarceration rate. We'll have less critical mass of criminals there. And, we can't give up guns, so maybe that's an idea. The other thing going on is this lava. Here's a lava map of the fissures. So you could see in Hawaii, all these little green triangles there where fissures opened up. This is how lava's come out. Right now, the biggest thing is this guy over here, which is, kind of lucky. If there's going to be lava, here's an old lava flow in 55, and this is basically going a similar route. Down here, there's a nice place. It's a warm pond. There's a house turned into a park that is kind of in the... Here's another nice park. I think it's Isaac Haley Park in Puiki. But at least it would go straight to the ocean instead of, from this side, it could go out over here, and there's other subdivisions. So, but, one thing that's been bothering me is a lot of people saying, well, why live on the side of an island, a volcano and whatnot? Well, here's why, you geniuses. First of all, this place got lava back in the 50s, and not the place where it came out, but just nearby. So that's 60 years since something happened. I had somebody telling me like, oh, aren't you happy to live in Maine? There aren't natural disasters. First of all, we have a natural disaster called winter every year, where if your power goes out, you could freeze to death. And on this 60-year time scale, there's these huge ice storms and things and blizzards and stuff that could knock out power for a couple weeks at a time in that time frame. Meanwhile, what's going on here? Okay, well, here's the big island. This is the East Rift down here. All of these places are the most liable to deal with lava. But Mauna Loa's ready to go. Back in the 80s, Mauna Loa came off here and went down towards Hilo, where there's 60,000 people. Mauna Loa goes off on this side, and it takes out parts of Kona. So basically, 2/3 of this island you shouldn't live on because it's an active volcano. And once every 100 or 200 years, something's going to happen. And these guys are like, well, you deal with fucking winter every goddamn year. And guess what? These little people over here, it's sad. A couple thousand people out of their house. Maybe another couple thousand, like my brother, have moved out of Lower Puna just because the roads are getting cut off. The lava's actually further away from him now, but the roads are getting cut off. So I don't know, you got 5,000 people on an island of 150 or something that are displaced. But all of these people are in zones that could just as easily have been inundated. It comes out kind of random. Every 60 years, one of these places might get hit. And guess what's happening the rest of the time? And even right now, all of these other people that also shouldn't live on an active volcano, they're paying taxes and living their life and not dealing with maybe freezing to death in the winter. So that's how that works. And there's disasters everywhere. And it's really pretty sickening, the idea of blaming the victim. It's like, it's just so you feel better. Like, you don't live in Hawaii, so you made a really good judgment because all you're dealing with every 60 years is an ice storm or power out in the middle of 20 below. Fucking ridiculous. So yeah, so lava update, and also, I mean, this is just a dangerous country. I mean, we have a lot of criminals, and they're filling up a lot of jails, and it's costing us a lot of money. And geez, it would be nice if we would just not be criminals, or maybe build a wall around this dangerous part. It's another idea. I mean, you have just an open border between these criminals here in Texas and the relatively non-criminal people in New Mexico. They got to deal with Texas and Oklahoma. There's Kansas and Colorado and New Mexico. Open borders with these criminals. Oh, it's shocking. Shocking, shocking. This is the 3rd or 4th trying to get this fucking stream working, so. And I'm not going through my site or anything. It's just basics. It's really time to have another place for discussion. But we'll just keep limping along this way for now.